Hello, welcome to Fridays at 4 on twitch.tv/DDOstream. I'm your community manager, Cordovan, and I'm going to be with you for probably roughly an hour here. I've got some news about next week. We're going to have Lamania soon. We'll have a lot more to say about our anniversary. I can give you the latest news about the producer's letter. And otherwise, it's a big weekend in Dungeons & Dragons Online because we've got some events that are in their final week. So I'm going to get to that as well. And then I think to wrap it up, we'll do a little bit of Snowpeaks gameplay just for fun because it is the final weekend of Snowpeaks. Now, IRL, I'm a little sick of snow because we just got dumped on last weekend in the New England area. I had to dig out my driveway. I don't know, like the biggest driveway in the world is 50 feet or so. But I had to shovel like 2+ feet of snow out of my driveway all week, and that was a lot of work. So anyone impacted by the snow in the United States here, our hearts go out to you if you have anything serious going on. Otherwise, wow, probably you also had a really, really tough week this week in a large part of the United States. So. And we're maybe going to get more snow this weekend. I don't even know. I don't know. Yeah. All right. So I guess I figured I might as well address this at the start because some news about the announcement I gave at noon on the Lotro side may hit the DDO side at some point, which is that I'm no longer going to be doing weekly live streams on the Lotro side here. Today's show was my last one for a while. I'll still do preview streams and things like that. Now, I've talked about this over on both game side before about how I'm kind of changing my schedule to better support the current DDO creator program. And I'm actually going to have news in a bit about a second round of that. But I'm carving out more time in my work schedule. So the idea of just every Friday live stream, whether there's news or not, it's going to be going away. And instead, I'm going to be doing more targeted streams. Now, it's less impactful short term on the DDO side because guess what? Tomorrow's the last day of January. I had to look that up real quick. And then we're in February, and our 20th anniversary is at the end of February. So pretty sure I'm going to be doing live streams pretty much every Friday here throughout the month of February because of everything that we have going on. But post-anniversary here for DDO, we're going to see a lightening of the Fridays at 4 schedule over on the Twitch channel here. The main bit of news I have is related to the background image I am using, which is that this is the final weekend of the Symphony of the Fae event. Now, you have through February 3rd, really until we bring the game worlds down for their weekly restart next Wednesday the 4th. So you really have until 9 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday, February 4th to get done what you want to get done. However, this is the final weekend for the Symphony of the Fae event. You can get all the information you need over on DDO.com. There's a question on the forums, is it too late to get started? Not really, although certainly you're not going to get more than maybe one reward. But if you want to get it done between now and Tuesday, you for sure can get a reward done here with the Symphony of the Fae event. We hope you've been enjoying it. We're going to be capturing the leaderboards as part of our downtime work on Wednesday. We're going to get that published in the pretty near future. We're considering what we should do with our leaderboards in the Hall of Heroes, just because now that we're more than 10, or this will be number 12 here, we're starting to run out of room on the wall. So we might change the user interface of it just a little bit, but nonetheless, we'll have the leaderboards up here for the Symphony of the Fae event within the next couple of game updates, I would think. The other big thing that is coming to an end this week, or after this weekend, also through February 3rd, is our Snowpeaks Festival. If you're playing DDO, you'll get Snowpeaks keys, and you turn in those Snowpeaks keys to run the Snowpeaks Festival events, either the climb or the slide. We'll run both of them here today just for fun. But you have through February 3rd to get what you need done there. And you absolutely have time to get stuff on this one. This is pretty easy. You can get it pretty quick. It's not that much work. We have a guide for that as well over on DDO.com. Final bit of news is this is also the final weekend. This is through Sunday, being shut off on Monday. will be making a return in the future, but for now is available through Sunday, and that is the Midnight Wing Patrons Coffer. That's the cosmetic outfit and the mount that you're going to see here shortly inside of the game. You have through February 1st to get the Midnight Wing Patrons Coffer for this debut round, as it were. We will be bringing the Patrons Coffer back at some point in the future. Otherwise, we have a plus 5% VIP XP boost going on this weekend. And let's move to the news of next week. I don't have anything I can show you, so we're going to move to a wider camera here. But we are pretty much set to produce or to publish the producer's letter first half of next week. We'll see. It may take a couple of days into next week before we finally hit publish, because we do have a little bit of work to do on imagery and text and a few other things, but not too much. And so the producer letter is pretty much ready to go. Assuming it gets published next week, we'll have Tolero on this show next Friday to talk about the producer letter, talk about the things that we're going to be announcing, of which there is quite a bit in the producer letter, and then have an opportunity for you to ask questions and get some answers on that as well. So if everything goes according to plan, we'll see something like the publication of the producer letter in the first half of next week. Right on its heels, we'll be opening our preview server of Lamania for our first anniversary preview. I don't know what all is going to be in it yet. I don't know what items are going to show. I don't know what all secrets will be revealed. Some of which you're going to read about, many of which you'll read about in the producer letter. But that should be all set for next week. And then assuming that happens next week, we'll have Tolero on Friday. After that, you think about the producer letter and related information being a little bit of a soft kickoff to our 20th anniversary push, and then the week after, or sometime after that, we're going to be creating a landing page for the 20th anniversary, because we have a bunch of things that we're going to be telling you. And so there'll be a one-stop shop to be like, okay, so what's that code? What am I getting for free? And how do I get it? And what's the NPC's name? And how do I run this thing? So there'll be a main landing page. And then over the next couple of weeks after that, that landing page is going to start linking out to even more information in the form of guides or articles, things like that. You know, what's going to be in what are my choices, for example? Things like that. The anniversary, I mean, I'm sure we'll do like anniversary sales and such. So in terms of spending real money during the anniversary, I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to support us if you want to. But the anniversary event is going to be about a lot of giveaways and events and things that are happening inside of the game. I am not aware of what we're going to be able to do in terms of transfers from Moonsea to US servers. I know that there is at least an intention to offer it from Cormier. If we can do it for Moonsea, we might well do it, but I don't know yet. I don't know what our technical feasibility of doing that is. What are some of the things SSG learned from this event? And what would we have changed? Now, I can't just suddenly do a post-mortem without talking to the team and doing all that. I would say in general, one of the pieces of feedback, negative pieces of feedback that we did listen to, is the border around the items for the Symphony of the Fae event. We know that some of you like the idea of being able to easily differentiate whether it's a Symphony of the Fae item or not, a Fae event item, but that border also makes it more difficult sometimes to see what kind of loot you have. And so we did get quite a bit of feedback suggesting that we find a different way to demarcate it in the icon. And I think we will probably do our best to do something there whenever the next time we bring this sort of thing back is. I will say one of the reasons we went with that border, because I did talk to someone about that over the past week, is that the intention, at least was, some of the thought process leading to the Symphony of the Fae border was there was a belief that there would be a fair amount of auction house activity right away off the bat with Symphony of the Fae, as people were acquiring Symphony of the Fae gear and, using it to help fund themselves in game. So we wanted to be able to have a way that just from the auction house pages you could see if it's a Symphony of the Fae item. And generally I think the feedback was, though, that yeah, you can definitely do that, but it's a little overbearing perhaps. And so I think that that's one of the pieces that we'll likely see some work on next time. And then some of the leaderboard concerns that came up, I think, for this one, we'll see if we can do something there as well. But in many cases, the next event may be different enough that that's not particularly relevant. The note would have been enough. I think that it's a subjective opinion about whether or not just the note would have been enough. But I think in hindsight, perhaps we could have had that conversation more robustly, following the feedback on that. So maybe we could just do something like put a note on it. I would say a quiver with an augment slot sounds like a bad idea. I'm sorry. I'm sure it would be popular, as it would just add a new channel there. So, or a checkbox. Well, that's the thing, is when you're talking about icons like that, sometimes you can't version them, and that's why the border has been a little bit of an issue there. Although I think we actually may have some opportunity to turn off that border in the future, and if we can do that, we will. When will the Dampier and Dampier Iconic Bundle be available in the DDO store? It's going to be after a game update, because we need to do some work on the store catalog to get it functioning. That's why when it debuted with the rest of the Chilla Ravenlaw stuff, it had to get pulled, because it wasn't functioning correctly. So my belief would be probably the next game update, maybe the one after that, depending on how the process goes to fix the catalog item. The item itself that is behind the scenes and making it all work. Is the producer letter going to be Q1, Q2 like Lotro's, or will it be for the full year? It will be for the full year. Similar to producer letters of the past, you'll get more detail the closer it is. But it does give the full year, yes. I can't really spoil what's going to be in the producer letter, sorry, to some of the questions about, well, are we going to get this year? Are we going to get this? I probably shouldn't, can't really say. All right, let me head in game. Well, I don't want to spoil everyone on a Friday right before the producer letter gets out, because that's sort of the point. Sorry. You know what, I'm going to start with not the climb, and I'll show you the easy version. Oh, I also need to readjust my camera again. Something is up with my XSplit stream software today. So, you are seeing here, this is the Ravenwing patron coffer. The only thing that isn't is that sword. That's just my other cosmetic sword that I've been using on this character, nor the shield. But the rest of it is the Midnight Wing patron coffer. Oops. Oh, I know what's going on. There we go. Now I can hear myself. I was wondering why I wasn't hearing the game. Looks like my XSplit issue is back again today. What the heck? I would never say never on anything. You know, someone is saying, well, does this mean we're going to get Kenku? I mean, no. No is the answer to that. This really has nothing to do with whether we'd ever bring Kenku into the game. But we certainly could. I think there'd be people who would be down for that. Durgar? It's another popular one. Okay, so it is coming through. There's something wrong with my stream software today. Like, this is not framey on my end. Except in XSplit. Something's going on, unfortunately.
Don't get weighed down. Fast legs.
Yeah, I had to forcibly choose the one there too, but I also... There's something wrong with this frame rate. I'm not sure what is eating... the 4070 Ti Super's memory. It should not be using 80% of the memory. Something is killing the memory on my GPU. Well, Raiders... Gosh. Oh, hey, speaking of Voodoo Spice, hello. How you doing? You're a big DDO content creator. Today, or rather yesterday, on the Lord of the Rings online side, we launched the Lochero Creator Program. Very similar to the DDO Creator Program that we launched last year. But I wanted to put out a call, although I've got a bunch of applications already to look through in our creator program application queue. I just wanted to put out a call that if you're a content creator for DDO who didn't apply last time around, just because you didn't think you qualified or whatever reason, I'm going to be re-reviewing applications in the next couple of weeks. So now is a great time to get in your application if you're a DDO streamer looking to join the DDO creator program. You don't have to do it in the next couple of weeks. There'll be other opportunities too. But I am going to, as long as I'm doing the work to onboard a bunch of people through the program, on the Lochero side, I'm going to take the advantage, take the time to bring things up to speed a bit on the DDO side as well. I have done the Snowpeaks climb several times on stream here. And so I am going to see if I can... Let's see how far I get on a speedrun attempt. Now, I am occasionally going to stop because, you know, I'm not that good. But let's see how quickly I can speedrun this thing. If I can even get through it or where I get stymied. There's a few spots in particular that tend to still get me on the Snowpeaks climb every now and then. But for the most part, I'm getting a lot better on it than I used to. That one sometimes will get me. There's another one coming up here too that I will occasionally fall off of. There we go. I also brought in a character that was low level and I didn't even check my jump score. I didn't have nearly a good enough jump to do it. The potions, you know, will take care of that problem for you. There are those potions just sitting at the bottom of the climb if you need it on a lower level character. But even so, having a maxed out jump will certainly make your life easier on this event. There we go.
Enjoy the moment, but don't let this distract you from the mission.
I tend to, especially when I'm doing this on my own, I tend to do a top-down in particular to help me judge distance. But that's kind of a me thing. You do what works for you. There's one branch here that tends to get me too. Let's see if I run into it this time or not. Yeah, especially on these, like for example, if you do vertical, you can sometimes help you out just a little bit. I don't know. Okay, good. No problem there. Alright, muscle memory's going okay.
Good form.
This one will still get me sometimes too, the one roof jump up here. Like that. Oh. Ah, that's where we go. Well, I just need to go get around better. Oh, whoop. I'm not dead yet. Alright, well. Just a little bit of a setback, people. We're alright. Alright. Go. Alright. Now, I am going to try for the roof jump. Pick up that Immortal Sun Flask, which is an amazing item. Highly recommended. Alright. No problem. Now, for the slightly trickier jump parts here next.
The mission is going well.
I mean, thank you. These can be a little tricky. Oh no, no! Oh, alright, well, fine. It's true, you can actually go to the flag, then if you fall off the roof while trying to get the Immortal Sun Flask, then you won't have to redo that bit. You can just go from the back platform. That is actually the way to do it. I was confident enough that I could grab that Sun Flask without falling, that I didn't really worry about it. But apparently I auto have, because I am now falling. Alright, let's try this again. There's only a few bits that really kind of get me on this kind of purple thing, or I think, like in that case, I just sort of fumbled the key press. I got nervous and sort of double tapped it, and then next thing you know, I am plummeting to the ground. Oh, there, yay. Yay. Alright. There's one more here that'll get me. Let's see how we can do. Okay. There we go. Yay! There you have it. With minimal falling, I fell twice, didn't I?
Fast legs feed the wolf, not a full backpack.
Awesome. Well, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Not bad. I agree. Fear Reapers to make it more challenging. Oh, that would be the worst. That'd be the worst. And I'm just going to do a few runs of the slide here just to get some coins and then hit the NPC. Vengeance Reapers. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, if we wanted to truly brutalize everyone who tried running the Snowpeaks climb, we could just add air jets. It's true, I should have said converse with the NPC. We don't condone NPC hitting. We're right on the cusp of releasing the producer letter, so there's only, like, I can't really talk about some of the things that I can talk about a lot more next week. But I would mention that we are working toward a player meetup at PAX East again this year. I can't provide the details on the time, the location, what day of the week it is yet, but it should be in the works, and we should have more to say hopefully within the next couple of weeks. But if you are going to PAX East, and you're looking at planning events and what have you, my suggestion is to maybe leave open dinner time on Friday. Because if everything works out, I think that's around the time that we're going to be doing stuff. Say kind of early mid-evening on Friday. I hear we may also be going to Gen Con this year, but I'm even less sure about what I can say there or what the likelihood of it is. But I know that there is work underway in that regard. I actually don't know the dates of PAX East off the top of my head. I need to look that up. Someone else is doing the scheduling. It's a little different than usual, though, isn't it? Is it like March? End of March? Something like that? Yeah, March 26th through the 29th. Thank you, Druid's Fire, for looking that up. So that would probably be something like, if it all works out, the evening of the 27th. It'll probably be similar to what you may have experienced in recent years. In terms of, like, kind of what to expect at the player meetup and things. Okie doke. Well, I just ran this a few times here.
Don't get weighed down. Fast legs feed the wolf, not a full backpack.
Oh, have they? Yeah, maybe it isn't an unusual time of the year. Alright, I don't actually know how many coins I have. Okay, so we have Festival cookies. I would actually say this Icy Potion of Jumping is an excellent choice, perhaps. Icy Potion of Haste isn't terrible either, especially if you're doing some kind of lower leveling, things like that. The Elemental Gem is pretty good. You can summon them, they'll do a little bit of work for you. Obviously, the main things you want to keep an eye out for is the Festive Augment of Dexterity and Charisma. The Ruby, the Snowpeaks is really good. The Imbuement Augment is really, really good. Or Filigree is really good. Ruby Eye of the Glacier, not bad. So good gems here. And any of these, you can get 100 silver Snowpeak coins and 20 golds real quick if you want to get yourself that this weekend, perhaps, before it goes away. There's a snowman pet, which is pretty cool. The polar bear pet certificate, which is cool. And then we've got a few items here as well. They are Symphony of the Fae tagged here. But yeah, here we go. The Snowpeaks gift, filigrees. I myself have the Imbue die, because that Imbue die is amazing. I also like the Dodge and Max Dodge is a really good one. I mean, there's a whole bunch. Hamstring Ward is good as well. And then we have a trade-in down for this if you need to. So, I don't know what I need on this character yet. Probably one of these. But I'm assuming the Imbue die. So I'll probably just go get that. And that's that. That was basically nothing to get. So, there you go. Yeah, the people are having to make that decision. Okay, Symphony of the Fae. How much durability do I have left to get? Will the filigrees have, quote, rare versions? No, they're just the items as listed in the reward interface. Oh, that's true also. Good point. The festive stat augments are minimum level 22, so don't put them onto your level 15 Sharn set. I know that there is some interest in extending Snowpeaks, but I'm just not. We're just. I don't see us doing that. I'm sorry. Alright. I have actually pretty much wrapped up the things that I needed to do for the show here, so I might end the stream a little bit early, especially if I'm having some gameplay visual issues on stream with lag. So, I think that's going to wrap it up here then with Fridays at 4 for this week on twitch.tv/DDOstream. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Give us a like and a follow. We'll be back next week with something or other, probably Producer Tolero. If not, certainly some information about what we're going to be doing here for our 20th anniversary and beyond. So, until next week, everyone, have a great time in DDO, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.